It says it means it is a person who has been entrusted with or has assumed responsibility for the care. Your son was 8 months old. So culpable negligence for a child in a factual context of that is, it's been submitted to this court that your child was 8, okay, 8 months old. And I will read this because it was submitted to this court through the testimony of some of your family that this was an accident. The law describes accidents this way. It says every person has a duty to act reasonably toward others, and if there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention of harm, that violation is negligence. The defendant cannot be guilty of aggravated manslaughter causing a death because of a merely negligent act. So your grandfather coming up here and saying that, you know, you shouldn't be punished because it's like stepping on someone's foot. It's like a total accident. That is not before this court. You legally could not be before this court. You may be in a different court, but you wouldn't be in front of me. It's not that. Can never be defined as that. Okay, so I'm going to continue. But culpable negligence is more than a failure to use ordinary care toward others. For negligence to be culpable, it must be gross and flagrant. Culpable negligence is a course of conduct showing reckless disregard of human life or a grossly careless disregard for the safety and welfare of the public. The negligent act or omission must have been committed with an utter disregard for the safety of another. Culpable negligence is consciously doing an act or following a course of conduct that the defendant knew or reasonably should have known was likely to cause death or great bodily injury. That's what I would have said to a jury if you chose to do so. When they found you on that day, the PSI documents this. It says that when they talked to you, you said that you had been in a verbal argument with Miss Whitby, and that when you stopped the car at that light on McDuff, that she got out. But before she got out, she turned around and she grabbed your infant son and she put him in the passenger seat. All of that was enclosed in the car that you were driving. No one really probably would have ever known what was going on between you and Miss Whitby, but that's bad enough that she took your child out of a car seat and put him in a passenger seat. And then I'll continue. It says that at that point in time, you said to the police that you didn't want to be responsible for the child, nor accused of anything with the child. And that's kind of where it gets redacted and ends for me. This is outside looking in. This is a witness's statement. This was a witness that was behind you and Miss Whitby in the light, at the light. She said she saw a female exit the vehicle with nothing in her arms and walk away from the vehicle. She observed the driver's door, that's you, it's open, and the driver placed something next to the vehicle. And then she describes, I'm reading a little bit out of order, it says that she thought that what you placed in the road was trash. Then she said she saw the GMC drive over the item. She saw it move. And then that's when she realized that it was a child. She said the GMC slowly closed the door and slowly drove away. Mr. Kalinowski said that he gets lots of questions that he has offered this court explanation for. my thought is that there is no way to explain the inexplicable. There is no reason. There doesn't have to be a reason. The only thing that this court has to do is never asked to explain why something happens, only who and what. Who did it and what happened? And is that a crime? And when those questions are asked, either by answered by either a jury or a plea, it's left to the court to say what is just and right in a case. And so I have considered all of the mitigation. I don't believe that 1 year in the Duval County Jail, followed by any length of community supervision, would suffice for the gross and flagrant conduct, the act. So that is why this court is not going to exercise its discretion in sentencing you below the sentencing guidelines. And so what I'm left with is a young man that stands before me, and you, I believe, are everything that your family says that you are. There appears to be nothing that this court needs to rehabilitate, because you are, by all accounts, an exemplary young man that made a terrible choice about his son, that you were entrusted with his care. His mom left, his mom took him out, she put him next to you, and you were entrusted with him, and you violated that trust. As to count one, this court, having accepted your plea of guilty, will adjudicate you guilty. This court will sentence you to 30 years. This court will sentence you to 30 years in the Florida State Prison, giving you credit for the days served. How many?
328 days, Your Honor.
328 days. Court's in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Recess.